We're losing! Teamwork, guys, more teamwork. They're burying us alive!
Well, shit.
Jeez, Louie.
I mean, don't you want to beat those bastards? In my book, we're going to be winners.
Listen, I ain't got nothing left for you to sign, because you're training like a damn bum, you know that?
Screw them.
What are you doing? What are people doing?
Is this early access to?
Hey, let me tell you something, bro.
Get out there now and do the best you can.
Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome. Sunday night. NFL season has kicked off, so either one of us is mucho excited and the other two of us are deflated. That's not a Patriots pun, by the way, so all of you can fuck off. What is going on, gentlemen? We haven't spoken since August. We've taken a few weeks
it's been
off.
a minute.
It's been a minute.
Like a month ago.
Trying to remember how to do all this crap, but welcome Sunday night. Welcome everybody on stream and listening on the podcast.
Yeah.
The fall is in the air, folks. That means football is back. Before we get to football, let me tell you about fall. It must be the time of year where the wildlife around my house kicks off. I was coming home Friday night to get some pizza and food for the kids. A whole family of deer in the driveway, and I'm not talking about like off to the side, like where the woods are and stuff. We're talking about like right in the driveway on the pavement. Had to be about 5 or 6 deer. And they saw me, they heard my loud music, and boy, they took off and caused major damage to all my mulch. I have like big, huge, like, hoof marks in my mulch that I got to go out and repair now. Thank you very much. And then yesterday I went out to mow. I went out to mow the lawn. I do my usual technique where I use the pusher, the walk behind to do my edge. And as I started, I noticed a little turtle on my mulch. Didn't think too much of it, just a little baby snapping turtle. And then I started to do more, and I started to see more turtles, and then the light bulb went off and realized, oh yeah, the mother annually lays her eggs in my mulch in June, and here it is 90 days later, and the eggs have hatched. So I had a whole fucking backyard and patio full of fucking baby snapping turtles.
Wow.
And I did
Snapping turtles?
Yeah, snapping turtles.
Okay.
And I did not pull a mat and stomp on them like he did the mice. Instead, like a good citizen, I just put all my mowing equipment back in the shed and back in the garage, and I called it a day, and I just let them do their whatever they need to do. And today I went out before the football, checked the area, no turtles were around, and I completed the mowing. But yeah, man, this mother turtle has trusted our property now for about 4 years in a row of laying her eggs. And then, about 3 months later, the little suckers hatch. I assume they're snapping turtles, Matt. Just the way the shape of like big snapping turtles that I've seen, they sort of resemble the same thing. They got the spikes on the top of their kind of like shell. They got a really pointed tail, long pointy tail, like a snapping turtle. They don't have like a smooth shell, like a regular kind of turtle that you would see. You know what I mean? These have more of a dinosaur look to them, for lack of better terms. Like a studded belt on their back or something.
How long does it usually take them to clear out? Like after they hatch and all that?
They move pretty fast, even for a turtle.
You say you got some water near your place,
yeah, down
right?
by the back of the house, there's like a stream that runs through the property, so they're making their way there. But yeah, it's cool. Every year to see them hatch, it's a big deal. Let them do their thing and move on. They don't hang around the property. They go into that little stream and live their life, and that's that.
It's like the Wild Kingdom at Mike's house, I guess, Eric.
Yeah. I do need to bring Matt over, though, to show me his technique to catch the fucking chipmunks, man. They are fucking causing havoc everywhere.
Still?
I hate chipmunks. Chipmunks and goddamn squirrels now are leaving messes around our house. We're going around getting the nuts and stuff.
Yes.
And they're leaving
That's
piles
big
of
circle,
their,
like circles, right? Like
Yeah.
all the debris. Like they got the shell and they just ate a little bit. Yeah, everywhere I look.
Yep.
Yeah. So y'all got rid of the moles.
The
No, I
moles this
still
year.
got moles. I still got moles.
No moles this year. Like, I think we had a decent enough winter with snow and cold that they dug down deeper. It's when you have a mild winter, the landscaper guy tells me, that they more on the surface.
I did the other day. I was out walking around and I saw, the tunnel going at. So I went out there with my, started stomping down on it and it stopped. The tunnel stopped. So maybe either I mashed him or he figured, all right, I'm going to stop for a minute and then, come back later or something. But the tunnel stopped in its tracks. So I think I might have mashed one of them up. I hope.
And then we got our owls at night. And, I got my shirt on, my owl shirt. I love hearing the owls at night. It's so relaxing.
Yeah.
And they clean up a lot of the mice and shit like that. They keep that population.
Oh, owls are great.
Yeah. You got to keep your owls happy, Eric.
Okay.
But, Eric, I'm looking at those fucking fabulous, so fabulous TVs behind you. And let me tell you a thing or two about TVs, Eric. Although I did not get an 8K because I'm not as hip as someone else. But I did pull the plug on the 77-inch
Yes.
LG C1.
Yes. Awesome.
77 inches.
You put it upstairs?
No, it's going to go right behind me. This one, we're going to do it like the...
Oh, you're going to switch them out?
We're going to do the TV switcheroo here. That one's going to go upstairs. And then the new TV will go here. And then the TV that's upstairs, we got to find a place for that or sell it. I don't know. See what happens. I mean,
I'm here.
Good for you, man.
My
Good for you.
Because they're selling the property down the Cape, and so my youngest son is like super excited to get like the TV that's down there and the consoles and stuff like that. And I said to the wife, well, if we're getting, if we're doing this whole TV switcheroo thing, why doesn't he just get the TV that's upstairs in his bedroom? And she's like, no 8-year-old of mine is getting a 65-inch TV in his bedroom. I was like, I tried to help you out, kid. Don't hold it against me years down the road. Your mother was the one that said no.
So when the divorce happens, we know who's choosing who then.
Yeah, exactly.
That's balling. You said 71? Oh, man. Can't wait to see that sit right there. That's going to be huge, bro.
77. Yeah, 77.
Oh, 77. Gee Louise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Eric. Get it right.
Yeah. No, 70. Don't sell me short on 6 inches. You wouldn't be the first person to sell me short on 6. God damn.
That's a great looking TV, man.
It is. I can't wait. It comes Tuesday. We'll see what happens. See how quickly I can get it set up and stuff like that. I'm still debating whether I want to put it on the wall, or if I just want to have it sit on the entertainment unit. I'm kind of debating back and forth of what I want to do.
On the wall.
I'm probably doing it.
Yeah.
If I'm doing it on the wall, I'm doing it right, though. I'm going to have my electrician. I need to have the electrician come anyway, so I'm having
put some outlets and stuff.
Well, no, when you move, right? The realtors kind of want you to take away any like personal items, and they want you to replace like light fixtures. And so what happened here is, what I imagine happened is the previous owners had some own personalized light fixtures, or maybe they weren't in good shape or whatever. They went out to Home Depot and bought like the very generic, like I call them the boob lights. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
They're round, like with that like. You can't see through them, that hazy.
It's frosted. Yeah,
frosted, and then it's got like a nipple in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I got like...
Absolutely, yeah.
I got a bunch of those that I want to swap out. And then one of my closets, I want the electrician to put an outlet in so I can charge my my vacuum and shit like that and not have it out in the open. So I need the electrician to come by anyways and do some stuff. So maybe I'll have him swap out the TV for me.
That'd be cool.
Well, what's up, Maniac and Show Nuff and Chase and Chat? Welcome. Show Nuff, if you just got here, I pulled the trigger on the LG C1 , 77 inches. Should be arriving this week.
Got more styrofoam for your styrofoam.
Oh,
bin,
I didn't
baby.
even think about that. Fuck.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll take it.
A lot of styrofoam, let me tell you.
Saving the environment.
Lots to talk about here in the open. Matt, you're very festive in your Bengals colors today. Congratulations on an overtime win. I thought it was so fitting that the Bengals kicked off their season. I was like, these motherfuckers are going to tie for the first game of the year with Burrow being back. I was like, this would be so Cincinnati. But they managed to pull it off, 27-24 in overtime against the vaunted Vikings. How are you feeling today?
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the second half in the defense because it was 21-7.
Hey man, take the win, bro.
I'll take the win. A win's a win. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man.
But it was 21-7, and they got relaxed. They got rested, and they got complacent.
Too big in their
They shouldn't
britches.
have. They got complacent.
Okay, but how was Joe?
Joe was good. I think Joe's all right. I think he was a little timid at first, and he got that first hit. And after he got that first hit, and he realized, like, okay, I'm good. I'm good.
I saw a terrible sack either in the fourth quarter or in overtime. I think it was overtime because that's when. Yeah, it was definitely overtime because they didn't flip it on my end to the Bengals game until it went into overtime, and it was like right in their first or second possession in overtime. He took a terrible sack. I was like, ooh, that doesn't look good. Those aren't the type of lot of bodies around him. Wasn't clean. I was like, that's how someone rolls up into him.
I'm sure they got that knee wrapped in Kevlar and stainless steel.
No,
that knee is not unprotected for damn sure.
It's the other one, though.
Oh yeah,
right. The other one. That's what you don't. That's what you don't want to happen is the unprotected one getting hurt, and then you get two bad knees, and then quality of life goes downhill.
Then he becomes like RoboCop or something, with his knees and shit, all protected or something. I don't know, but it was good. It was good. Jamar Chase had a couple dropped passes in that, but then he got to his groove and he, did well. He got a touchdown. Mixon was out there running the ball and that. It was a good game overall. I think the defense failed a couple points. It should not have gone into overtime for damn sure, but. Good game. Great game.
A lot of cussing and drinking and food, or no?
All of the above, dude.
All of the above.
All of the above. Lots of drinking.
Welcome to fall.
It is Sundays in fall. I'm going to be busy making nachos and food on the grill and shit here for the next few Sundays. Get shit ready to go. Get the TV in the garage. Fire it up and everything. So, yeah, it's going to be... Sundays are back with all types of craziness and stuff going on.
Remind me, we got to play a voicemail in just a few minutes from Los, who wants to talk about portion control for the little devices that you guys have outside. So we'll have to get to that in just a few minutes.
Should be interesting.
Yeah. Eric, Misery loves company. Both of our teams lost today. What happened to the WFT?
Well, I wasn't able to watch it, but you watch a little highlights stuff. I heard Fitz got hurt, but that's pretty much all I know. Yeah. But I'm just gonna say it's the first game, and then we'll figure something out, I guess.
Well, the Patriots quarterback looks very special. The most passing yards for a first game for a rookie in Patriots history. So they get like 281.
Well, that's good. That's a good show.
29 out of 39, no interceptions. But the running backs let them down. Running backs fumbled 2 times. Patriots were down 17-16 with just a few minutes left, and they were on the Dolphins, I want to say 20 or 30 yard line, making a lot of progress. The guy ran it all the way down almost into the end zone and fumbled it. And the Dolphins got the ball back and then just ran out the clock. So a tough way to lose, but young team. I'm sure Belichick will chew those running backs out. We'll see if they. We'll see if they get any playing time next week. Usually, Belichick, an old school guy, is you end up in the doghouse by coughing the ball up. So I expect next week a passing attack, and the other running backs who didn't fumble the ball to get the ball, and those other guys to sit down for a little bit. But
how many years Belichick got of his contract?
I don't know, but they said today he's got the most coaching ever. Today, this is his 47th year in the league.
Jeez,
I believe that.
I mean, he started with the Patriots in 2000. So this is his 21st year with the Patriots. But yeah, he's been a coach at some level for 47 years.
Yeah,
wow.
He started out with the Browns. Can you imagine what he could have done with the Browns if they would have kept him on?
Well, I think he started out like way back in the day with like the Broncos, and then he started out with the Colts. His father had connections with the Colts, but yeah, his first head coaching foray was with the Browns, and then he got fired from that, and then he went back to being an assistant under Parcells for a long time, and then the famous thing, Parcells retired, and then Belichick was like named the heir apparent to the Jets, and he promptly resigned the following day so he could sign in New England. There was that big to-do, if you remember, back in 99, 2000. But I think this is going all the way back to the 40cast, guys, that we've had our annual Super Bowl predictions. Not that we can ever remember what we said, several months later, but we always do our predictions. So does anybody? I know Matt said, according to Twitter, he's already bought his Bengals Super Bowl tickets. So
yes,
Matt,
sir.
Since you already have one team locked in, let's go with your full list of teams going to the Super Bowl.
I'm actually going out on the
Limb?
on a limb here. Yes, thank you. But I'm going with Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
Versus I'm going to say Arizona Cardinals.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona won today. Cleveland lost today. Cleveland had a big lead just like the Bengals did, and they blew it. Chiefs came all the way back.
Yep.
Eric, what are you saying?
I think it's going to repeat, man. I see Mahomes and Brady again, man.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's
and that's just fact of the matter, man. I just see
Brady
it going like that.
Brady looked spot on the other night, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, man.
He's fucking 44 years old, still fucking tearing it up.
Jeez,
it's like he's first day again out there, man. He's fucking.
And
but I think Mahomes is going to come. I think Mahomes.
Well, you know how like
crazy, man.
For a while there, if you go back to baseball, like the Red Sox couldn't beat the Yankees for a while, and Pedro said, the Yankees are my daddy. I think the same thing is going on here with Mahomes. He's beaten Brady in the regular season before with the Patriots. He's beaten him once in the AFC, but Brady's got two up on him, head to head in playoffs so far. And I don't know. I just think until someone beats Brady, I think it's still going to be the Bucs, and I think it's going to be the Bucs and the Chiefs again.
Yeah, me too.
And if it comes, my money's on the Chiefs. If it comes down to that.
Oh, I can't. I mean, it all comes down really to health, but at this point, I still got to go with Brady until he just looks like everybody else is playing checkers and he's playing chess. It just looks like the game slows down for him. When are these coaches going to learn not to give him the ball with like a minute and 30 left? Like,
I think
they're going by the book. Like the guy in Dallas, right? He kicked the field goal rather than trying to go for the touchdown. He kicks the field goal. They go up by however many points, 3 points or whatever, and he's going to give the ball back to Brady with a minute and a half left. I mean, how many times have we seen this?
Right, and that's why I think Mahomes is going to go play lights out this year. I think they're going to just take chances and take risks because that's how you got to beat Tom Brady.
Yeah, you got to outscore him you got to keep him on the sideline. That's how you beat him.
Exactly.
Just make the points insurmountable.
Yeah,
but the Bucs got a good defense too. So, all right, well that's that. Matt was the only one that went out on a limb. Good for you, Matt. Let's recap that: Browns and Cardinals, and Eric and I say repeat.
Yep.
We'll see who's the winner here in February. Probably none of us.
All right. It'll be the Washington football team.
It's gonna be a Washington football team and goddamn Green Bay or some shit.
Yeah. All right. Let's not get crazy.
Yeah. Eric, earlier in the week, we had our little gaming night. And so Matt can't answer this next question because he's already come out and said he's not a hardcore gamer. But today is National Video Games Day. So
okay.
I was going to ask you, what, have you done anything to celebrate or your best, some of your early gaming moments? I forget how this topic came up on Wednesday, but Chase and Matt were sort of going back and forth like they ought to want to do every Wednesday night. It's a very tense meeting of the minds every Wednesday, and Matt definitely had a hair across his ass as soon as we mentioned hardcore gamer. Matt, do you want to?
The problem is. The problem is.
Here we go.
Chase was saying that someone who plays on their phone or isn't on a console or PC is not a hardcore gamer. And I said, what does that even mean? He said, well, they're not playing on console or PC, so they're not hardcore. I said, all right, so what's a hardcore gamer? Someone only plays on console and PC? Well, no. Okay, so what's a hardcore gamer? And we went back and forth from that. I was like, hardcore gamer is a fucking dumbass fucking word. If you're going to label it to where they're just playing on goddamn console and PC, if someone playing on a phone's not a hardcore gamer because they're playing all the time, what the hell is that?
Do you think there's different levels of gaming?
No, you game or you don't.
There's not different levels of it?
No, you play games or you don't. You're a gamer.
Grandma that spent all her money on Candy Crush. She's a hardcore spender. She's not a hardcore gamer. She's a hardcore spender.
She's not hardcore. She's playing games. What defines a hardcore gamer?
That's what I'm asking you. I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying.
My definition.
Fucking term.
Okay, so my definition of a person that I would think would be I don't know about hardcore, but a gamer in general. I'm not taking anything away from the handheld guys, but I think a gamer is a person who travels all of those lanes. You know what I mean? That's
I'm not
to me.
Saying anything about someone who's called a gamer.
I would say that we're all. I would say
hardcore gamer. What is a hardcore gamer?
How I would define that, and I would say we all are.
Right.
Our people on day one are early adopters, and always want to be cutting edge. Now, I think there's varying degrees of right. There's people who just play Destiny for like 20 hours a day and just doing raids out the ass, and don't have a job and do all that. That's like a hardcore in the negative
lifestyle.
way. But I would say for us guys who are buying consoles, buying TVs, and pre-ordering consoles months in advance, I think that puts us a little bit higher than casual. Casual to me is someone, hey, I'm in Target, you know what? I always wanted a console, and now I see it on sale, and I might be a generation or two behind, and I don't really care about that because I just want to go home and play my Call of Duty and Madden with my friends every so often. That to me is like someone who's just casual, just sort of blows in and blows out, as they see fit. But someone who's buying consoles day one, Matt just pre-ordered $100 for Destiny for something that comes out in February, right? That's to me, pre-ordering something.
That's normal, right?
Pre-ordering something months in advance is kind of like, maybe Matt doesn't want to say hardcore, but it's definitely somewhere in between casual and hardcore, whatever you want.
Yeah, that's not a normal behavior.
Enthusiast might be the better word. I don't know, but it's definitely to something above casual.
And to be a person. Also, if I'm going to put another spin on it, a person that's a gamer, like Mike just said, has some history. Like you can transcend like different consoles. Like you can go from Atari up to now. I mean, doesn't that speak for something? Or am I in the same shoebox as the person's picking up Candy Crush on the iPhone? I mean, everybody's gaming, everybody's playing a game, but I think there are different levels of it.
Right, I would say enthusiast is more of what we are. Hardcore to me, I think if I had to think about it, is someone who shuns other responsibilities in their life, and gaming comes before everything else. It comes before their family, comes before their work, comes before their bills. They're just always focused on gaming, right? That to me, I think is someone who's just, that's all they do, and it's probably not healthy, right? To me, I think we are definitely above casual. If you're on a fucking podcast for X amount of years talking largely about games, you're above casual. And if you're going into Best Buy and giving the fucking people their donuts, and you're buying a console on day one, and you've pre-ordered it months in advance, and you've pre-ordered the thing for the Destiny months in advance, okay, you're not hardcore like you were back in the WoW days where where your marriage almost went off the rocks. You're more just you're more of an enthusiast, like the rest of us.
Right. There's levels.
Yeah. Did I nail that, Matt? Did I do okay?
That is like whatever.
Hardcore gamer is the most stupidest fucking word out there. You game.
It's 2 words.
Or you don't. Whatever. You're a fucking playing games or you're not.
I want to be playing, we got to speed this up because I want to be playing some games tonight.
Are we hardcore podcasters because we fucking do this once a week?
No.
Or are we just podcasters?
We're just podcasters. If
are you Mike? Are you a hardcore TV buyer? Because you fucking just bought a 77-inch TV.
Yeah.
Or do you just like electronics?
I have 7+ TVs in my house.
I have 10+ in my house. Yes, I'm hardcore, and I got 2 8Ks right there. Yeah, that might be hardcore. Man.
My name is Mike, and I'm a hardcore TV buyer. I'm not going to deny it.
Yeah, straight up. Straight up and down.
You know, I mean, just like you. I mean, you got how many I fucking had sausages tonight. I don't care if my wife cooks them on the grill outside, cooks them on the oven, cooks them on something. You have like 13 different ways you can cook your sausages outside, right? So there's all varying degrees of being an enthusiast. But yes, me and Eric are hardcore TV buyers. There's no doubt about that.
Enthusiasts.
No, we're not enthusiasts. There's a problem.
It came out where he was saying that if you just play on your mobile device and your phone and that, you're not a hardcore gamer.
Well, I would think
you're a gamer.
Okay, so what's a hardcore gamer? That's why I started asking. Well, I was like, okay, he couldn't answer the goddamn question.
Chase, it's almost like you need your own podcast to defend yourself.
I think
okay. So Matt, do you believe? Okay, so like, there's a lot of different things you like, right? We have hobbies, correct? You know, just hobbies.
It's all hobbies. It's all hobbies.
So do you think there's levels of people like you ride motorcycles, right?
On the sidewalk.
Yeah. He's seen me.
So you're considered a motorcyclist, right? That's what you are, right?
Yeah, just like we're the other guys in the other lane give them that little hand sign. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
We're gamers. Now, what about those guys who get the ape hangers and they're different than you, right?
Well, you saw you saw in our little private messaging. I showed you Matt's bike when he brought it to Sturgis.
I didn't see that.
They're all motorcyclists.
They're all motorcyclists, but there's different levels of motorcyclists. You got guys that ride the crotch rockets, right? You got guys that ride the cruisers. They're all motorcyclists.
Hey, don't make fun of Vic. Don't make fun of Vic Joe like that. He got rid of that bike.
Right.
Hey, yeah, that's a whole other story. They're all motorcyclists. They all ride motorcycles.
Right. And we're all gamers. But there's levels to it.
Exactly. We're all gamers.
Right. There's levels to it, though.
I would say the people that, play in internet cafes for like 30 days or 30 hours in a straight, those are hardcore people that committed, right? That's all they do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I would say people that, esports guys, if you put like a football player, a baseball, or basketball player in front of us, you would say that they're a hardcore athlete, right? Because that's all they do pretty much is train, right? To perfect
their job.
They perfect their craft. Well, I would say those people that just are doing the same with gaming. Anybody that takes it, when you take it to the extreme, I think that's when you get to that hardcore point. For us, we're enthusiasts.
Right.
But Matt is a hardcore, or maybe we want to say strives to be a hardcore chef.
Sausage season.
Right.
I'm all about sausage. I'm ready to put sausages in my mouth.
Someone clip that. Someone clip that. What? Hold on.
What? Fuck?
There's so many things I need to play right now. No, you don't even go on.
It's going to be a sausage season here soon.
Christ. We've completely
No
gone off the rails.
Enthusiastic you are about something. Yeah, you're enthusiastic about it. You love it. You endure what you like. That doesn't mean you're more than someone else or you're hardcore into it. It's
no. I want to move on to another topic that we will not debate at all. Pancakes, waffles, or French toast. Put them in your order.
I know where I'm going with this one.
I'm gonna go French toast, pancakes, and waffles.
Okay.
Matt. You want waffles, pancakes, French toast.
I have to go pancake. I'm a pancake guy, old school. I'm not one of those guys either. We talked about this on Wednesday, and I don't want doctor my pancakes up either. Not stuffing that shit full of blueberries and chocolate chips.
No. I want some plain buttermilk pancakes.
Give me those buttermilk
syrup.
Agree, 100% with Eric. Yep.
Yeah.
Pancake. And the pancake speaks for itself.
That whipped butter.
Yeah, that whipped butter. Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But you guys got, a waffle, it's got them little ponds of syrup.
Mike, Matt's a waffle, a hardcore waffle enthusiast.
Hardcore waffle enthusiast.
He's a hardcore waffle maker.
Yeah.
The problem, it can happen to all three of them, but I think I am more apt to eat a cold, soggy pancake than I am a cold, soggy piece of French toast or waffle. Like waffle, a waffle gets if you don't eat it fast enough and it's not,
it's get cold.
It gets hard too, though. You know
hard,
what I mean?
Yeah.
So I am about the pancake first.
Yeah.
I do think that French toast is definitely the worst cold, or it's been sitting around for a while.
You're right.
Yeah.
Matt, look at the chat, and what did I tell you? Told you there was going to be one
chocolate chip pancakes.
I told you there was going to be.
That's not even a fucking pancake. That's like a muffin.
I knew there was going to be one person out there that was going to doctor up their pancakes.
No, that's not pancake.
See, this is a small example of how I've mentioned this before, of how we've gone from a staple like beer, and all of a sudden you get all these fucking 50 million different types of beer. Like, what was wrong with the goddamn, beer that they made back in the day? Why do we have to doctor that shit up? That's because they started with the goddamn pancakes, and then they took and ran with it. If we can
people like variety.
Yeah, they do like variety, but then at some point it's no longer a beer. It's like you have some sort of concoction in front of you.
Right.
But anyway, I digress. Yeah. We'll have to get Denny on here and talk about the history of beer and when in time did they move beyond just a regular lager beer. When did that happen? Like,
they started freestyling with like PBR and all that. You went from Matt. What's that beer that you like? What's it called?
Michelob Ultra?
No, that hams.
Hams? Yeah. I don't like hams. I was supposed to drink that shit.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you go up to the bar, give me a beer. They fucking gave you whatever the hell they had. You didn't ask, can I have a IPA or can I? No, you said, give me a beer. And I said, here's a goddamn beer. Same with bourbon or whiskey. Give me a bourbon. Give me a whiskey. Here you go. You didn't ask what it was. They fucking gave it to you.
In the early days when I would go to clubs, you had Bud, you had Bud Light, you had Heineken, and then there was either there was the house beer on tap, which usually was something like Schlitz or PBR, and then the only craft beer that I remember from the early to mid 90s was the brown ale, the Sierra Nevada. If that can be considered like a craft beer, that was my very first experience with having something besides like the major swill.
Or Denny, he's probably yelling in his headphones right now at us.
Yeah, the place that I used to play all the time in Boston, the Rat, their house brew, the Rat Brew, was Black Label. Ooh, Such a nasty beer to get a hangover with. But I drank a lot of Black Label in my day. It's cheap, like $2 beers.
Mm-hmm.
I remember they had like, ever have like beer with like the case like broke on top of it, and they didn't clean the bottles, so you're buying it, you're drinking it, and you smell it. Smells like vomit.
Yeah,
but you're drinking it because that's what you did back then.
That's what it was.
You just were pounding these things. It was not about let me sit here and hit all these notes. Ooh, what notes am I getting? No, I'm not getting any notes. I'm trying to get blasted out of my mind as quick as possible.
Someone said, "Here's a beer, drink it." It's like, okay,
yeah.
I mean, right? That's what it was. I was like, oh no, this isn't a porter. I can't drink this. No, it fucking smashed your beer bottle across your head. Here, drink this shit.
Heineken's too, and another beer. Jeez, you can get you fucking absolutely wasted off of. No.
Oh yeah,
nasty hangovers with Heineken's. Nasty. Before we get to Los's voicemail, which is going to circle us back to portion control with pancakes, Matt, I know that you are. It's imminent that you're going to retire here at some point, and you're going to be getting your RV, and you might be doing some traveling.
Yes.
So I have this article here that I want to read and show you. A billionaire wants to build a real-life Rapture in the desert. Okay, this is a guy, I think he used to work at, what did he used to work? I think it was Walmart. Yeah, Walmart. Billionaire and former Walmart executive Mark Lowry has shared his vision for a new city in America that will cost $400 billion to build. It's called Tulsa.
Did you say 400 billion?
Yes. It's being designed to be a sustainable metropolis located in a desert somewhere in the U.S. Right now, city planners are considering Nevada, Utah, Idaho, Arizona, and Texas. So to give you on the screen here now, I got a little picture of it. Think of like BioShock and Rapture. But the city's layout is intended to allow residents to get to work, school, or anything else they may need within 15 minutes. The goal is for Tulsa to be eco-friendly with sustainable energy and water. At the center of it all is the Equitism Tower, a skyscraper designed to be a beacon for the city. The plan says the city will eventually grow to 150,000 acres, supporting 5 million people. However, at least that's 40 years away. The first phase would be 10 to 20 years to achieve and will support 1 million people. So here's the image.
I'm just what kind of resources are going into, building this and doing this, that they're trying to save resources, but
what do we think of this place? Is he going to move here? You're going to bring the RV. Wonder if they'll let you come in and bring the RV. Wonder if they'll let people from out.
I don't think the RV will mess the look up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't see any Walmarts or anything you can park at, so I don't know.
Something to keep in mind, Matt, when you're going to take the Funmobile out, the RV. I
understand
the love-making machine on wheels. Maybe you can take Barb and pull over to the side over here and gaze at this tower. Not into it?
I think the resources that's going to have to go into building this is going to be more of a waste and drain on the environment than what this is going to be able to put back in return.
Mm-hmm. So you don't think this will get off the ground?
Oh, it might get off the ground, but I don't see it being self-sustaining and everything like what he thinks or what he thinks is going on.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, put it down. I'll send you the link. You can bookmark it. Tell Barb's, someday down the road, we got that RV on the road. We can hit up this place.
We might drive by it and wave or something as we're going by. Yeah. Yeah, as you and Eric are in the window, we'll wave as we're going by or something.
All right, well, let's get back to food. Let's hear from Chase. I think he's got to talk about pancakes and something went wrong, but let's hear what the man has to say.
Chase or Los?
I'm sorry, Los. Chase is typing. I'm old. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I apologize to everybody. Los, I'm very sorry. Los.
Chase is being cool and being very active in chat, so he's
All right.
being awesome and keeping things alive here.
All right. Well, now we're going to hear from Los in his voicemail.
Yo, what's up? It's Los saying hi on a Sunday morning. Taking the dog out. Just finished making like 50 pancakes. So Matt, did you get portion control? Like, you got it under control on your Blackstone? Because I can't. Like there's like 4 of us that eat, basically, and 4.5, and I seem to like never be able to cook for like under 20 people. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's like, okay, let's have pancakes. And then all of a sudden there's like a buffet tray full of pancakes that we could have for like days. So I don't know.
Just said buffet.
But yeah, I didn't call last week. I forgot to chime in. I'm glad you enjoyed my seductive, bath picture. I realized after the fact that it was lacking bubbles. Bubbles probably would have helped with the sexiness. But I'm sorry. and you're welcome. So there you go. Another thing, we got to build lightsabers yesterday at Disney. We finally did that. Funny story. We had given the kids gift cards to do that for last Christmas. It's a Christmas gift to build lightsabers. Gift cards were empty because we didn't have the money for lightsabers. But we were like, hey, let's do this because there's a pandemic going on. There's this, all this stuff. We can't go there anyway. They're closed. So let's just say, hey, lightsabers whenever we can, and it's like a gift that we didn't have to pay for at the time. It was great, but we finally cashed in on it. So, and we wound up sending my middle kid to school. So now both kids are in school, and it sucks because it's very, very, very stressful every single day. But our county passed a mask mandate, so it's mandatory now unless you have a doctor's note from a chiropractor or some whack job. But yeah, we're just going day by day. And the kids are loving it. They miss it so much, but it's just really stressful. But they're doing good. Schools are good. They're doing their job, taking care of stuff. They're not like the governor. So that's good. But anyway, peace out. Hope you have a good show. Cutting this off before it cuts me off. Later.
So much to unpack there, and I'm going to work in reverse order.
There's a lot there.
As kids going back to school, it's a great thing for my sex life. I'm just having morning sex now, and it's a great thing. I know he's got 2 of his kids in school, and the youngest daughter is probably taking naps and is way too young to understand anything of that nature. So I would say, Chase, while yes, it is stressful to have your kids in school, especially if they're not vaccinated and they're around people that could not be vaccinated as well. Try to take your mind off that and have some morning sex. That's all I can say to you there. It's been a hell of a thing. It's really been a morale booster around here to start the day off like that.
Morale booster.
Rather than waiting until the kids are in bed and the dishes are cleaned and everybody's watched their TV and everybody's got their gaming in, and all of a sudden it's 12:30 at night and you're rushing to get through it. You have it in the morning, right? So, what he say about his lightsabers, the giving the gift, but he didn't have to pay for the gift. It sounds like someone else we know, Eric, on this podcast who gave out a gift for Christmas but didn't have to pay for the gift. And here we are almost at Christmas 2021, and the gift from 2020 has not yet been given. How do you feel about that, Eric? Do you feel like you feel what I'm putting down?
Yeah, somebody is running out of time. What you think?
I don't know.
They're running out of time.
That's a hell of a thing you got going on there. I don't, do tell how you pulled that off, sir.
Well, Christopher when he went down to Disney World, a couple weeks ago, he went and did the whole lightsaber thing too.
How much do those things cost, man?
$200 fucking dollars.
How much?
$200 it cost Christopher. They went through this whole ceremony and all this shit, and that is apparently it's pretty cool in that. And I think what was even more cool is like the TSA when he was coming home with this, lightsaber in that. The TSA and fucking Delta knew what to do with it. The fucking TSA is like, is that from Disney? It's a lightsaber. He's like, yeah. They unzipped it, looked at it, and they've sent it through. And then Delta went and said, here, we'll take that. They put it in this closet, where people put their suits and jackets and shit, so it won't get broke. And food
now,
home.
Does it light up and stuff?
Yeah,
and
it lights up, and you wave it.
Now these things aren't like Harry Potter. He can't walk into your kitchen and do abracadabra, give me a backsplash, can he?
No,
because you noticed, Eric. You noticed, Eric, how he was avoiding the conversation that I was the point.
It was diverted.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Well, shit.
Well, shit.
And then,
yeah,
you're running out of time. And then, the most important thing he was talking about is portion control. So how are you handling portion control? What is the device again that you guys both have?
The Blackstone griddle.
The Blackstone griddle. Yeah. How is portion control working?
Well, he's right. You buy a pancake mixture. There's no like something to make like 2 or 3 pancakes. It's like, all right, you do this and you make 10 pancakes or 20 pancakes. So you're sitting there making all these goddamn pancakes. It's like
after you do it a couple 2, 3, 25 times, you should know, right? How to
judging by the photos he had on Twitter, my advice would be larger pancakes, sir, and maybe you won't make so many, because it looked like he wasn't making silver dollar pancakes, but he was making maybe like a little like the next size up. Maybe he needs to make his pancakes a little bit bigger, and then he won't have so many.
There's an idea there. Maybe just make a big fucking you make a pancake. You make a fucking pancake.
You make a goddamn cake.
Load up with syrup and butter.
Now you'd have a problem flipping. You have to flip those over like a traditional pancake, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Oh yeah.
You'd have a problem flipping that fucker.
Well, if you get your spatulas and stuff, and
you got a whole crew out there.
And maybe I was going to get this morning and make fucking pancakes and sausage and eggs and shit, but I was lazy. I didn't want to do it. But I was going to make up a big old bowl of pancake mix. But he's right. You guys like, all right, well, you're sitting there, you get this big bowl of batter. It's like, well, what the fuck are you supposed to do but make nothing but pancakes? We would agree that pre-made batter is not as good, right? You got to make it yourself. Oh yeah, there's definitely a difference there.
Like that kind you squirt out of the bottle is nowhere near as good as just getting a box of like Bisquick and with the eggs and whipping it all up.
Yeah, that's what we do. We do the Bisquick or whatever pancake mix where you add the eggs and the milk and you whisk it all together and stir it together. And then I bought this pancake thing. You pour it in there and then you squeeze it, and it squeezes out the pancakes and however big you want to make them. Maybe I should just make them bigger. That way there's less pancakes, but they're bigger pancakes.
Got pump.
I don't know.
Got to get a pancake pumper.
Or it's just.
I knew you were going there.
But portion control is hard in this. You got this big cooking space, and recipes are hard sometimes to portion control for just a certain amount of people. You end up making all this goddamn food, and you got leftovers and shit.
Eric, if you make 50 pancakes, are you a hardcore pancake maker?
Matt? Because if you make 20, you're just an enthusiast. But if you make 50...
No, if you can get your portion control right for the whole family and not have any left over, you're a goddamn chef.
That's right. That's a pro.
If you're trying to feed the goddamn homeless of Ohio, you're a fucking hardcore pancake maker.
So I make 3 pancakes, I'm just a pancake maker. But if I make 20 pancakes, I'm a hardcore. It's the same fucking amount of batter. But
hey, Mike, if you have a griddle that goes outside, which is right beside your smoker and your damn grill, you're hardcore
in your hibachi.
Yeah, you're hardcore.
Yeah, you're definitely a hardcore gorilla.
Because that's out of the norm. Like me, I got a grill. That's it. That's out of the norm.
Speaking about grills, I got to buy replacement. So I bought this grill in 2018. It's hard to believe this is the 4th summer I've been in this house already. Time flies, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I got to buy. I think I got to. Whatever those things are called. Help me out with the terminology, hardcore griller. The grill portion, the portion where I put the shit on, is getting like a little funky and rusty.
Grates? The grill grates?
Yeah, I got to get some new grates.
See, that's what hardcore. See, I wouldn't guess the name of that.
Yeah,
get a goddamn brush them off and re-oil them. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
that's hardcore, Mike. That's hardcore.
I could do that too. I go to Amazon and buy new ones for like $20.
That's right. Just throw them away.
Oh, hardcore spender.
Yeah. Hardcore. Hardcore is the worst fucking word out there. Hardcore. I drive to work every day. It make me a hardcore commuter.
No, it makes you a hardcore employee. You've been going there for 25 years. That's dedication. You're a hardcore. You're a hardcore civil engineer.
That's right.
All right, hardcore gamer. Tell me what you've been playing since we had last spoke, Eric. The last 2 weeks. What have you been playing?
Really nothing to speak of. Playing some Madden, and I got the new game. It's called Fist.
I just bought that today, but I haven't played it yet. How is it?
On the PlayStation 5. It's really good. It's a Metroidvania game. Good, really good graphics. The rabbit has this mechanical arm that it's pretty tight. I'm loving it.
I bought that today. I'm going to play it this week.
Fist. Yeah, so that's really all I've been playing is that, and just hanging around, sipping Crown.
Eric, let's go back to Madden. You're playing Madden 22?
Yes, sir.
Is that as fucked up as what I'm seeing all these videos on YouTube and stuff, or just fucked up plays and just playing good?
If I'm being honest, Matt, it's not really too much different than 21. If you ask me, it's the same thing. I haven't noticed any bugs or anything, but it's the same thing. The next gen stats thing is pretty bumped up. That's about it. But other than that, same thing.
I'm just seeing lots of videos on YouTube, just glitches and things happening that shouldn't happen, and plays that are just kind of, the hardcore football fans would probably not approve of this.
I don't want to get into a discussion of like sports games in general. We'll just bake it down to Madden. But what is the stumbling block for Madden to go towards a Fortnite type model, a Destiny type model, where the game just gets roster updates, it gets tweaks, there's seasons, and you just you're paying for it, not annually, but you're paying like when these big expansion packs come out. You know what I mean? Like, so maybe it's like the game came out in 2020, right? And then it's had a couple seasons, it's had a little bit of new modes baked in, and then boom, in 2022. Or 2021, you're paying for the roster update, which is maybe a little bit more money. Is it because they want to get the $60 or $70 annually from everybody? Is that the real issue we're making here? Because Fortnite makes money hand over fist, and they're not robbing people of $60 every fucking year. Could you do that in sports where you go to that type of model? Is it a licensing issue where licenses expire in the game, whether it's music or in-game advertisement, and they just can't roll it over to the next year, and they have to start up a new game? But you can always play like Madden 2020, and it will have that same advertisement when you first bought the game. So I don't know if it's that. So I'm lost here. Like, why are they so slow to do it? Is it just because they want to milk people of the $60 to $70? It seems like you could hit these people up more frequently for money to make up for that annual purchase if you went to some sort of free-to-play, buying skins or buying, the Destiny model where you pay the $60 once and then you're buying these expansions and stuff. Why are they slow to that?
If I'm EA, I'm going to do what I can do till I can't. So when people stop buying into the $60, $70 every year doing the same thing, then that's when I'll change. But until then, why change? If I can get $70 out of each person,
right? But I think I mean, I don't have these facts in front of me, so I'm just kind of making this up for the sake of the podcast here. But I am on a limb to say you could get more money from people if you went to a Destiny, Fortnite, Apex type model than if you just went to an annual thing.
I don't think so, because I don't think the numbers of people that buy Madden are the same numbers of people that buy, say, Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm. But would you think the player base would increase if they thought outside the box and got a little bit more creative rather than this stale, stagnant model they've done forever?
I don't think they're picking up people. I think the same people are doing the same thing every year. I don't think you're picking up that casual gamer because the new football is out and they just want to try it. Mm-hmm. I don't think
someone's going to do it. At some point, someone's going to say, you know what, the regular model is not working for our particular type of sport, and they're going to go out and try it. And they're going to see what happens.
Just like Chase said, it says it's because the people that buy Madden don't play Fortnite. 2K tries that with all the microtransactions and gets lots of hate for it.
But if they came out to you, Eric, and said, we're not going to have an annualized game, we're going to make you pay here, and then, we're going to give you some free updates along the way. There's going to be some DLC that you can, buy if you like, and then there'll be a roster expansion. I think if they just broke down their business model in a different way, it'd be more palatable than someone saying, okay, well, here you're paying $60, $70 annually, and we're giving you microtransaction. I think that's the problem, is when they combine the two of them together. If someone really broke it down and said, hey, we're thinking outside the box here now, we want to go to a different model here, I think it would be more sustainable and digestible by consumers.
And then you don't want that. Then you don't want the crowd to be EA is turned into a Game Pass type of situation. Oh, I'll play it just because it's, I mean, I already paid for it, but I'll play it. I don't know. Matt, what you think?
Yeah, Matt was about to say something very prophetic.
I think Mike's on a good idea here as far as sports games. A season pass for a sports game every year where you get a roster update. You get to pay for, your $10, $20, whatever you would pay for a year. You get certain things for your fantasy team and stuff like that. But I also think, I could go either way, but I think Eric's right also. People are paying us money for this every year. They're getting a new game. They're getting...
To me, it feels like, what if they met in the middle? What if they came out and said, you as the consumer haven't been getting enough bang for your buck because we've always tried to annualize this. Instead, we're going on a bi-yearly schedule. You buy the game once over the next 2 years, and we'll give you a roster update for some sort of nominal fee for the second year. And that gives us 2 years of a development time to make the game better. And they'll have some other things that you can buy along the way to fill in that money that they're going to lose for the annualized purchase. I don't know how
I would only do that if my sales for Madden dropped off. If I'm making money, I'm not changing anything.
But I don't know. At some point, that people are making money, you got to change because enough bad publicity. You got to get ahead of it. You got to be reactionary. You just can't sit there and take the money in one hand and taking all the bad press in the other. I think at some point you got to be a visionary and say, all right, we got to get out ahead of this and do something a little bit different so we can be sustainable for the next 10, 20 years and not...
They're the only game in town, though. So they're going to be around for the next 10, 20 years unless somebody else comes.
I just hope to do that when someone smarter than us out there is able to take these franchises into a better place. Because it seems like we've been having these conversations for years, and the games don't get that dramatically better year in and year out.
No,
sometimes they regress.
Yeah,
I think Madden 22 regressed this year. From what I've seen the videos on YouTube, Eric, I know you're playing it, you've done other things and that, but from what I've seen, it's like, holy shit, this game's fucking terrible.
But you got to look at it from the outside looking in. What else can you do to it? It's football at its core, right? Okay, you could bump the graphics up. About it.
It's the glitches. It's the glitches and stuff that's going on.
That's messing it up, right?
Where a ball is going through a guy's head and the defender gets the interception. It's like, wait a minute, what? went through the goddamn dude's head.
I'm the only game in town. So I mean, if you want to play football, you're going to play with the ball going through the guy's head.
Yeah, this is exactly. This is what you got to do. Yep.
So it was free this weekend, Matt. You didn't download it, pick it up, and play it at all?
No, I did not. Nope.
Okay. So Eric says he was playing a little bit of Madden. He was playing in Fist, but nothing else.
You're going to like Fist, Mike.
All right. Matt, what have you been playing? I know one thing you've been playing, not the Fist. Hopefully, if you have, it's with Crisco. Anyways, go on.
Been playing some Destiny 2, the new season, everything coming out. I finished up some main quests from the last season, and now I'm fresh out in a new season, doing stuff that we played the other night. We started doing some of those new season that there's lots of cool, repeatable activities to do, because it kept some of the activities from the past seasons. They can repeat and do over and over every week. And there's, if you do 3 of this, 3 of that, 3 of that, you get powerful gear or pinnacle gear. So that's pretty damn cool. And the new season is pretty slick in itself. Now that I kind of know what's going on and what's happening in that, some cool equipment, some cool guns and stuff. So it's nice. I've been playing that. I pre-ordered Witch Queen, which comes out in February. So this is going to be a long season of Season of the Lost. Season 15 is going to be a long season. It started a couple weeks ago, and it's going to go into February. So plenty of time to get stuff and do stuff and so forth and that, which is cool.
Still a very pretty looking. I don't know if pretty is the right word. Impressive visuals in that game. It seems like every time they have new areas that you can go into, they really knock it out of the park. Aesthetically. Still one of the best shooters around. But boy, there's a lot to figure out, and they don't hold your hand a lot. I know we played on Wednesday, and I just bought the pass, the $10 for this season, and I had to jump into certain areas with you guys, and you guys were asking me, well, what's your quest? Do you have this quest? And my quest wasn't there, and if we didn't walk through all the very different scenarios, we don't know if I would ever found that out on my own. And plus, it didn't help that I bought the season pass, but I had to buy the silver first, and it was taking the system a while for the silver to show up in my account. So I couldn't buy the pass, which means I didn't get the quest. Blah 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 blah.
That's just what I'm going to say. Even just buying the pass was a convoluted step, to go through. I think you even actually had to restart your Xbox or restart Destiny for it to show up and for things to happen. Yeah. So that kind of, put a damper on things, of course, but it came through. Things happened that we was able to go through a few steps of this quest during the season here, do things and so forth and that.
It's going to be a hardcore season for sure. When you're playing...
Oh, there's hardcore Destiny players and there's casual Destiny players, and they're just guys come in, they just game. So I don't know, but yeah. So did some Destiny. What else? Did we play anything else this past week? I think that might have been. Yeah, that might have been it for me. I'm back in. I think the season's great, good. Last season I didn't go that far, but this season I see myself going all the way again. Just enjoying things. It'd be hardcore, hardcore into this.
You're going right to the elbow.
Hardcore. This is casual, hardcore down to here. Hardcore in. Yeah. So,
but the week prior where we didn't record. I think you were doing your usual flight simulator while Chase and I were playing. Chase and I were playing the D&D game, Dark Alliance.
The Ascent or D&D? Yeah, D&D. Yeah. I tell you, I still love flight simulator. It's just a fun. Back, when things were going on, it was just a nice casual game to get in, play, and just kind of fly over shit. I don't know what it is about a game like that, but just nice and chill.
No, how awesome would it be, though, if you could open the cockpit, though, and actually take a shit at the same time?
That'd be sweet.
When is that DLC coming?
Just shit out the window. Open the window, take a piss out the window, or something like that.
That's pretty hardcore.
Is that Top Gun DLC out yet already?
I think so. I think it is. Yeah, I'm not going to buy it or anything, but yeah, I think that is.
You're not going to go into the danger zone, Matt? I thought you go into the danger zone.
I would love to fly a F-17 fighter or something, but I'm not that hardcore of a gamer, so I don't know if I'll do that or not.
Hey, you don't know until you wade in that hardcore pool. Just dip the little toes in, see if you like it.
With the tip, just
see if it suits your needs. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, today you watched your Bengals, so you got some of that in. Any other television or anything else going on?
What We Do in the Shadows has started up again on FX. I don't know if you guys ever watched that show. It's a kind of a mockumentary about these vampires on FX. It's a funny show. There's a lot of dark humor, dry humor in it, and stuff like that. It's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Watching that, and then I watched on HBO. My wife and I started watching White Lotus or Lotus Inn or something like that. It's about this like resort in I think Hawaii where all these people go and they have all got these issues and stuff, and just kind of it was very interesting watching that show. I think it's called The White Lotus or something like that. It was pretty good. It was a hardcore TV show. If you're a hardcore TV watcher,
hardcore. It's for the hardcore nuts.
It's for the hardcore TV people. If you're just a casual TV watcher, you're not going to like it.
I see Maniac in chat asking, has anyone upgraded their PS5 memory yet? Well, I don't think you can do it yet. It's only for the people that are in beta. It hasn't been made public, so I don't know if Shonuf's in the beta, but Eric and I are not in the beta, so we can't do that yet. I am ready to rock and roll, though, when it comes out. I have purchased my memory because I am a hardcore memory purchaser.
Hardcore memory purchaser.
I'm not sure you're as hardcore as Shonuf. Shonuf said he's got 6 terabyte external for his PS5. That's hardcore. Mm-hmm. That's hardcore memory.
Yeah, but you can't do it yet, Jay. You got to wait until you got to wait until they put that system update for everybody else. It's only in beta right now. But I'm ready to rock and roll when it happens. Let me tell you what I've been.
What you've been playing, Mr.
We
Mike?
Before we get to that, we were talking about TV, hardcore TV, and all this, and that, and the other. This week, I think it was Thursday. Was it Thursday? Yeah, I think it was Thursday. I guess we had a bad rainstorm or something. I was down here, and I heard a pop. And my lights went out for a nanosecond, right? Mm-hmm. Didn't think anything of it. Went on the rest of my day. My internet didn't go out. I was on work conference call when it happened. I go upstairs, after work, and none of the cable boxes are working. So I'm not sure if it's the same for everybody, but the way it is for me, I have a master cable box and all the other little satellite boxes. I know. Everybody here, I got rid of cable. I went to YouTube, blah blah blah. Okay, that's great, but that's not what I'm doing. And so all my none of the cable boxes were working. So I called Xfinity, and they came out the next day. And I want to know how you guys would handle this situation because I feel bad. I don't like yelling people in my house, but I did yell and got a little over the top with my behavior.
Okay.
The drivers, the technicians that come out, don't carry the 4K box anymore. Oh. They say that there's 95% of the television that you watch is 720 or 1080p. Not everybody has a 4K television, so we don't carry the boxes on the truck anymore. Mm-hmm. So they were giving me, I had this nice little, DVR, about 4K DVR box, sleek looking. And then they gave me this thing out of the fucking 1980s that was bigger than an Xbox One, right? And it only does 1080p, and all my other satellites, for this thing will only do 1080p now. And I'm like, bullshit. I was like, you fucking can't come to my house and downgrade me for some equipment your equipment that I'm paying for that broke. And he's like, well, we don't fucking carry them on the truck. He's like, this is all I got for you. And I was like, well, you're not taking that one back then. I go, I want to see that this thing works. I just got really mad. I was like, this is like me going into like the tire shop, and all of a sudden I'm coming out with like 4 fucking, the fucking, the spare tires on my car. You know what I mean? All of a sudden I want the equivalent of what was wrong put back in my car, and you're telling me, no, the spare is good enough. The roads out there are good enough for your spare. The guy hooked up the box, and he's like, I don't know why you would have a problem with this picture. This looks great. I go, yeah, this looks great, but this is not what I'm paying for. Like, you're downgrading me, and my price is still staying the same, right? If you're telling me I'm not getting 4K, I can't serve up 4K content, and you're giving me a 1080p box that's like the size of like an Xbox One that I need like the fucking get like the airport guys in here to like whoop, 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 and like land the thing in my entertainment unit. Like, what the fuck? So,
are you actually paying a premium for like to get 4K content?
I don't know. I don't know. I pay a premium like $300 a month for cable, so I'm paying something, all right. And I was just like, I just felt like it was typical Xfinity Comcast bullshit. Like my bill's high enough as it is, and you're gonna fucking give me this. Don't tell me the guy who's paying all this money. Well, 95% of the content you get anyways is not in 4K. Don't come into my house and tell me, blah, 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 and then give me this box and go, you're going to have to deal with this. This is all I got for you.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Oh, I was getting violent. And I felt bad because it was 2 guys. One guy was training and the other guy was like the boss.
Shit.
And I fucking lost my mind. I was like, this is how this is going to go. You're going to hook this shit up today, but then when you leave, I'm going to cancel all my services and just keep the internet and tell all you people to go fuck yourselves. I don't like yelling at people in my house, but I lost my cool and I fucking was agitated on my day off, nonetheless. Fucking really blew my stack.
So where are you at now? Are they going to give you a 4K? I mean, what's going on?
I had to order one off online. So they'll send me the one online, charge me $15 to send it to me. I called up and said that was bullshit, so I got a $15 credit on my account, so they're going to charge me $15, but then on my bill there'll be a $15 credit. I got to mail the Xbox One back to them, and the fucking Betamax machine, I got to mail that back to them in the box that they send me for the smaller 4K DVR.
Jesus Christ.
That's a lot of mess.
Yeah,
I hear where you're coming from. I'd be pretty pissed about that too. Yeah. I mean,
And it happened Thursday night when I was trying to watch the fucking Cowboys Bucks. Opening night football. I had no TV. I had to watch the game. On the NBC Sports on the Yahoo Sports app on my phone.
Oh no, that's the worst.
I'm sure one of my TVs could have done that too, but I didn't think to. But so that was.
Well, that's some hardcore NFL there to be watching on your phone like that instead of on your TV. That's hardcore.
Brady and Gronk. Well, I can't quit him. I can't quit him.
I'm gonna tell you, I had a hardcore phone thing too the other day. I don't know what happened. Xfinity cut the damn internet or something. Something happened, but I didn't have internet right through my whole house. My whole house runs on the internet, right? So I didn't have internet right for like the whole day.
Into his refrigerator.
You're right. I couldn't watch TV or anything, right? It
sends me into like a different stratosphere of rage when the internet goes down. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I've lived like more than half of my life without the internet.
Right.
Boy, when it goes down.
Once it goes down, we are all like,
okay,
no!
so my wife and I, we were like, damn, I need some TV. So what did I have to do? I had to hotspot my phone and use the 5G to my TV. So we was able to watch TV. My daughter was pissed, but because she couldn't watch TV in her room. But hey, I had to do something, bro.
Hey, she had to come out with mom and dad and hang out.
Nah, that's not gonna happen. And then they fixed it the next day, so it was all good.
Yeah. So, I just haven't been in a great headspace with work and everything. So I literally have not played any games since Wednesday night. Just been feeling, I'm not sure if depressed is the right word, just sluggish, lacking enthusiasm to do much of anything. So I have not gamed at all since Wednesday night. I'm letting my work life interfere with my private life, which is not healthy or good. But here we are. nonetheless, here we are. That's what happened. Prior to that, though, go ahead.
If you was hardcore, you wouldn't have let that happen. But go ahead.
Yeah,
we're gonna really beat that. We're gonna really beat that.
Hardcore lifer. If he's a hardcore lifer.
Yeah.
So Wednesday we did Destiny. Earlier in the week, I was finishing up all my quest in the Ascent because the prior week, Bricko and I finished the Ascent, the main story. He helped me out with that, and then I did like all the side quests. But it didn't pop that I got all the side quests. So either the game's achievements are borked a little bit, or I need to go back throughout the various levels and find these other side quests that I need to complete. But really enjoyed playing that game, bugs and all, and some wonky stuff around launch time. But yeah, a hell of a twin stick shooter, really satisfying. To the point, guys, that I enjoyed it so much that I downloaded Alien Nation and Dead Nation on my PS5 because I was in that twin stick shooter vibe, and I quickly realized that the Ascent is a little bit more forgiving than Alien Nation, and I was getting my clock cleaned pretty thoroughly, and it was since 2014 since I played Alien Nation. Or maybe it was 2016 Alien Nation and 2014 for Dead Nation. So a long fucking time in between playing those two games. But I was just getting run over. I was like, I should just probably start over because I'm not grasping all the concepts going on here.
Do you see any replay value in the Ascent?
Don't know. Not really. Not yet. I don't know what their plans are for DLC or expansion. But it's just a fun game. It's relaxing. You know how some people like to go into the Lego games and break the bricks and hear all that, just smash shit? I feel a little bit of that sort of vibe with the Ascent of breaking stuff and all that crap. So, I was on my Ted Lasso bullshit again. Enjoyed this week's episode. And, just a lot of football today.
Mm-hmm. Football's back. It's nice.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's nice having a winning team.
It is. I must be. And
For 1 week at least.
And I've been watching I'm watching a lot of baseball too. My Red Sox are so horrible because none of the guys on the team will get vaccinated. They got 10 guys on the COVID list right now, and they've had just a bunch of people just not willing to get vaccinated. A bunch of people, like one guy's been on the COVID list 12 times. How's that happen?
12.
Lord.
So, it's wild.
Wow.
Anyways, let's get to the news. We don't have too much news. That's why we ran long in the intro. But we got a couple meaty stories to go over. So let's hit those.
I like meat.
Really? Okay, do you hear what he just said? He just said, why don't you, for once in your life, just do the fucking news? All right, no. I'm going to do the fucking news. No, here is the fucking news.
Hardcore news. Hardcore news. Not just news, but hardcore news.
You really got my attention there. I thought you were going to say hardcore nudes, but you said news.
That's later, dude. That's the after show. That's the Patreon.
Only fans?
Only fans.
PlayStation showed how it was done this week, guys, right? I think somewhere off in the distance, if we were all quiet for a second, Microsoft is still talking about trebuchets on some sort of soundstage somewhere. And PlayStation just got up and stayed on the stage and said, here's 40 minutes of games, and then we're going to get the fuck off stage.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff, not all exclusive to the PlayStation ecosystem, but some stuff was. First of all, they announced the new Knights of the Old Republic remake, which is going to be a timed exclusive to the PS5, and it's going to come out on PC as well, and then I guess at some point it might come to Xbox. Does anybody have any history with Knights of the Old Republic? Anybody play that back in the day? The BioWare version.
Yeah, I played it.
Yeah,
and I can't wait to see. Is this going to be a remaster or
a remake? A remake.
A remake. So they're going to do it all over. Okay, yeah. So I'm interested to see because that was a great game back in the day. That was a great game.
So that's what they let off with, and I thought, Lucasfilm. I thought it was interesting that was just going to be a for the time being. When most people say timed exclusive, what do you guys think when you hear that?
Well, it's going to eventually be on everything. They're just going to have it on the PlayStation for 6 to 8 months.
Is that when you hear timed exclusive? Is that what you guys immediately think? 6 to 8 months? Because they didn't come out and say. Because
exclusive for the PlayStation,
For that Final Fantasy remake, was a timed exclusive to PlayStation, and it's been over a year now, so. Right? Still not out on Xbox.
No.
They announced some other things. They showed some games that like I said, are going to be on multiple platforms, like Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
That looked awesome.
I listened to your guy Goth today when he was streaming, and he was very excited for that. They showed that game Forspoken, which is
that looked good.
Which is written by Amy Hennig, who of course did the Uncharted games, and Gary Whitta, who did Rogue One. So it looked pretty cool. I think the meat of the stuff that they showed, right, that people were just losing their mind with, we'll just get right to it. Wolverine. Right?
Yeah, that came out of nowhere, man. Who saw that coming?
Insomniac is putting out a Wolverine game. It remains to be seen. Is it open world? Is it a linear story campaign? Is it a small game like Miles Morales? Is it a larger game like the Spider-Man games? Just at this point, it's just announcing that it's in development. Not a lot of details around that. But I really enjoyed the Wolverine game that was out on the 360. That I think Activision might put out. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm excited for that. They officially announced Spider-Man 2.
Man.
And it's not a co-op game, even though they showed you Miles Morales and Spider-Man in the same video fighting Venom. So maybe you must be able to call him in or something like that. Or interesting to see how they'll pull that off. But that game is not coming till 2023, although 2021 is almost over here. So if it's early 2023, it's not too far off, as depressing as that sounds for us old people. So I feel like I'm rushing my life by sometimes with these video game releases. But I want to ask you guys, I could go to the list here. As someone who watched it, if you guys did, is there something that really stood out to you that you're like, wow, this is exciting to me?
I think they finished great. That whole, they just showed those Sony exclusives at the end. They finished great. And that Wolverine had me just, who saw that coming? The God of War looked good. Even though it's more of the same, that's great. I think that's fantastic to be.
I saw some pencil neck geeks online complaining, the animations look the same. Tell me, Eric, in the morning when you get out of your car or when you get into your car, do you say, well, I got into my car yesterday in the same way. Today, so I'm not redundant, I'm going to figure out a new way to get into my car.
No, bro. Greatness is greatness. I just want more greatness.
And this is it's not a term I have in my vocabulary, but now I do. This is a duology, right? This is not a trilogy; it's a duology. This wraps up the story. This is the second part of the two game series. So it doesn't make sense to me that they would have like a whole new set of animations for something that is supposed to be a series of games. There's going to be some tweaks and adjustments, but to complain that he gets out of the canoe the same as he did in the first game,
man, that cherry picking at that point, bro. Come on, man. Who's going to say, first of all, that God of War was a bad game? Nobody. So you're just giving me more of the same. Yeah, I'm not going to even have that. I'm not going to even have that conversation with anybody. That's dumb. You're stupid.
Shonuff says that was way more detailed than the 18 God of War. I thought, from where I stood, it had a lot of detail, and it looked much farther along in development than I assumed. They showed you a big slice of that game.
Absolutely.
Gameplay-wise, not just cutscenes, but gameplay-wise. So that thing looked like it is not too far away, in my opinion.
Man. I don't care what side of the fence you're on. If you got to be honest, listen, man, that looked great. Come on. Stop with the nitpicking. Come on.
I think that Project Eve Looks a little interesting to me.
Yeah,
I was just about to ask you about that. That looks like a cross between like what the Devil May Cry and Nier games, and maybe even a little bit if people can remember that game, that Platinum game, Scalebound. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Right, it had a little bit of that vibe to it.
Yeah, and I think that Gran Turismo 7
looks special, right? I mean, I'm not a car guy at all, so it doesn't do anything for me. But there's a lot of people out there that love their cars.
It looked goddamn good. It looked good.
Yeah, about that UI, huh?
Ooh,
it looked good, right?
A lot of time put into that UI, sleek.
But they still didn't show. They still have more stuff up their sleeve. I mean, I don't know, man. I hate to compare the two, but sometimes you almost have to. Sony did what Sony does, man. I'm just not going to hate on. It looked good. Just everything looked good, and they still got the VR to show. They still got more games that coming out. Come on.
They showed games. They didn't show controllers.
Right. I mean, this has been a year since they've done a showcase. To be fair, they didn't do an E3 one this year, like Microsoft did. Microsoft's one that they just did was sort of like another one in addition to what they did at E3. So to be transparent and fair there. But I thought it was solid. They showed you Alan Wake, which is the remastered version coming to PlayStation for the first time. They showed you more of Rainbow Six Extraction. They beat us over the head again with more Deathloop. That's out this week. So finally we'll stop seeing all these Deathloop trailers and we can just get out there and play the fucking game. Let's see what else they went through. The Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy collection. Those are coming to the PS5. I thought it was interesting and maybe disappointing to some that they still have not announced a Bloodborne remastered. I thought for sure they would be working on Bloodborne for the PS5 at this point. So they have the Demon Souls remastered, Spider-Man remastered for the PS5. Now they have an Uncharted 4 and the Lost Legacy collection. Where is Bloodborne for the PS5? Maybe they're working on that. Maybe that'll get announced. To Eric's point, they still got other stuff to announce up their sleeve. Maybe that's a shooter drop. They're doing it for Death Stranding, right? Another game being remastered for the director's cut for the PS5. Again, where's Bloodborne? Grand Theft Auto delayed until March 2022. Ghostwire Tokyo. That's, you got to keep in mind Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo are now Microsoft games. They're Bethesda games coming to PlayStation first before they come to Xbox in a year or so. So Ghostwire Tokyo looked like a mix of Evil Within and sort of Japanese horror. I guess I need to see a little bit more of that. Guardians of the Galaxy got a new trailer that's coming out a day after my birthday. So if anybody wants to buy that for my birthday, I guess that's okay. It
was a good show. It was a good showing, man. I think.
I was very well paced. Right, there was no deep dives. I didn't feel like any game was really overextending its welcome to me.
It kept rolling. And it was. They didn't linger on too many things for too long. It was very well paced.
If you guys had one game what was the best thing you saw? Let's just go around quickly. The thing that got you the most excited. Matt, you want to go first?
Oh, I'm shit, Mike.
No one's going to hold you to it. You can pick one thing that got you.
I mean, is it generic to say the whole thing? I know one thing, but.
So here's a different way to
Project Eve.
Here's the thing. Here's a different way to spin it towards you, Matt. What you saw here in their commitment to games through 2021 through 2023, you more apt to now pick up a PS5 coming up at some point if you saw one?
Yes. I would rather say that than yes. I think if I get my hands on a PS5 or something like that, this would help make that decision happen, or which would make me see if I get something on sale or something like that. If the price drops, then yes, I was like, okay, it's time to buy one.
You know what I enjoyed about seeing all this, Eric?
What's that?
Beautiful games. No one said. I didn't hear one person say, "Yeah, but these aren't available on Game Pass." Everybody just was like wowed and got excited about the games, and no one mentioned, oh, but they're not coming to Game Pass. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
Eric, what got you the most excited?
Now, the biggest thing that got me excited was, first of all, Insomniac is out of control, man. Those dudes are just ridiculous. And what the game that got me excited was Wolverine. Man, come on.
Just like what if they can combine like all the different like weapons. I mean, not that Wolverine has many different weapons. He's got its claws and shit. But you know how the various animations that go on in the Spider-Man games and the Ratchet games, you know, they're very intricate in the fighting mechanics that those guys can do, you know.
Yeah, man. Wolverine is just, I mean, Insomniac is just shitting out hits. Bro, and like a year's time, bro, they just put out, what, like 4 games, bro? Who does that?
I had a very bad take on Gamers in Beta years ago, when they put out Fuse like a year or so before, and they were putting out some mobile games, and then they put out Sunset Overdrive, and I was like, these guys gotta come up with a game that's going to be a hit, or they're going to be circling the drain here quick.
They figured it out.
They figured it out. Whoops,
they figured it out.
I was a little bit wrong on that take, but
and it might be because, you know, Sony's lining their pockets though. You know what I mean? And they have more creative for sure, leeway. So
and they got Sunset Overdrive. They got that game back. They got that license back. So you might see a Sunset Overdrive at some point.
Hey man,
or Sunset Overdrive 2.
And there's still stuff that's out there, like Far Cry 6. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
The Kanye Bridge of Spirits game. I'm excited about that.
9 days.
I'm excited about that, bro. I mean, that wasn't even in the show. That who knew? I mean, that's a whole another topic. I mean,
the early reports in that is like it plays like a Pixar movie.
Bro, come on, bro.
And it's only $39.99.
And that's like a what you call those games? An indie title, right?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Well, Sony's not always perfect. They made a gaffe the week before that, where they were laying out their plans, their upgrade path for Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, they messed up.
They had originally planned to force PS4 players of Horizon Forbidden West to purchase the $79.99 and above editions to get access to both the PS4 and the PS5 versions of Forbidden West. They since backtracked. They said it's abundantly clear that the offerings we confirmed in our pre-order kickoff missed the mark. While the pandemic's profound impact pushed Forbidden West out of the launch window we initially envisioned, we will stand by our offer. Players who purchase Horizon Forbidden West on PS4 will be able to upgrade to the PS5 version for free. So they got caught with their pants down, just like Xbox did when they tried to raise gold, right? And the backlash was quick and swift and severe, and they reacted and they said, nope, now it's going to be free. What's not going to be free is they said going forward, there will be a $10 digital upgrade option for both digital and physical versions of PlayStation first-party exclusives. So they're not going to give you the smart delivery like you get on Xbox, where everything, you know, you buy it once and they're going to give you the best version depending on the system. Nope, they're going to make you pay for it. $10. Now, some people, that's going to ruffle their panties. And I get that. You're a consumer. You're well within your right to be upset. Someone like me who is a realist, who manages people and knows how much it takes to get people to work together and collaborate, there is a cost associated with upgrading these games, right? And they already said that some of these games cost anywhere between $100 million and $200 million to make. So for me, $10 is not like...
It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal. I get people on the other side of the coin says, no, I bought it once, I should get the upgrade.
But I was listening... I'm sorry, go ahead.
Like I said, we can agree to disagree. I see both sides of the argument. $10 is not off-putting to me.
I was listening to Shonuff and those guys. You know, he's in chat. I was listening to podcasts, and just like he was saying, when did we get to the entitlement phase that we deserve, like, the upgrades and stuff like that? So if you had a NES and then you got a Super NES back in the day, Nobody gave a damn about your
right.
You know what I'm saying?
The same thing is happening with Alan Wake, right? There's going to be it's going to happen. Some people are going to complain that they bought Alan Wake on the 360, and now they have to buy it again for the Xbox, even though they're supposed to be smart delivery. Smart delivery only works when you buy it, I think, on one of the current systems, and then you get the upgrade when you go to a new system. But yeah, to your point, just because you bought something years ago doesn't mean you're entitled to get it now for free.
And we all know money is an issue. Everybody doesn't have money. But that's why if you really want something that bad, you save your damn money and you get it. I don't get it, man.
Oh, the issue here is that the other system is giving it to you for free. So there's the Apple-to-Apple comparison. Hey, there's the PlayStation ecosystem. There's the Xbox. Xbox is giving it to me for free. Sony's a big corporation just like Microsoft. Why can't Sony give it to me for free like Xbox does? Two different ways to run a business. They've decided otherwise. They said, nope, we're not going to do that. There's going to be a fee to upgrade.
Right.
You don't like it? Stay on the Xbox.
There you go.
You don't like you don't like it? Just stay on the PS4 or just stay on the PS5. Just don't have to worry about it.
Every generation, I've said it. Cut bait. Move on.
But you can't, because if you're a business,
yes, you can.
Listen, but if you're a business, Matt, I want all the money.
Eric, you just said it. When you went from Nintendo to 64.
I agree with you. But listen, now that's Eric talking. Now, business person, okay, I want to get all the money.
I think the problem here is that the new systems aren't readily available enough yet, so the PS4 player base dwarfs the PS5 player base.
Exactly.
So they just can't cut bait as quickly as you would like, because then they would just be losing out on approximately 90 million people. If the PS4 is sold 100 million plus and the PS5 is sold 10 million, they don't want to lose that cake for those 90 million people. You know what I mean?
Right.
To which gets back to, Matt, a conversation we had last time we recorded. If you go to the GameStop, their prices for trade-ins right now are through the roof because people can't get the Xbox Series X and the PS5. So I noticed you could get $100 and $120 for some of the old systems, trading them in. So I might have to get on top of that and make some money, and rather than have them sit in plastic tubs behind me, trade them in. A rebuttal, Matt? Still staying?
I'm still saying. Yeah, you bought the PS5 to play.
They have to some degree, though. Like Ratchet and Clank's only available on the PS5. Returnal's only available on the PS5. Some of these games they showed you the other day are only going to be available on the PS5. So they dip their toes in and out of that water of new system versus multiple systems.
I guess the hardcore gamers can decide.
I say $10 is much more palatable than saying you got to at least spend $79.99. Wouldn't you? I would agree with that. Yep.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Today is the 12th, Matt. You have until the 14th to sign up for Halo Insider. If you sign up for the Halo Insider, this will give you access to Halo Infinite multiplayer preview, which comes out on September 24th. The test will include access to 4v4 multiplayer and big team battle modes alongside the regular bot arena and academy weapon drill bot modes that were playable in the previous test. So again, you have until tomorrow, the 13th, to sign up. If you want to get free access to the beta the preview on September 24th. Okay. And Halo Infinite comes out on the 8th of December. Last news story of the day, for those people who haven't upgraded their Xbox and still have the old consoles and controllers, Microsoft is testing a new firmware update for Bluetooth-enabled Xbox One controllers, Xbox Elite 2, and Xbox Adaptive controllers that will grant them a range of next-gen features previously only available on the Series X and X controllers. The firmware update will allow compatible controllers to support Bluetooth Low Energy, which allows for better pairing experiences between devices. The majority of Xbox One controllers are already able to utilize Bluetooth support when connecting to a PC or smartphone, but pair with Xbox consoles through the Xbox Wireless Protocol. The low energy update will allow for a quicker switching experience between Xbox Wireless and Bluetooth devices. Going on here, the updated Xbox One Elite 2 and Adaptive will receive dynamic latency input, otherwise known as DLI. This essentially allows for more responsive gameplay by delivering controller inputs more efficiently when connected to a Series X or S. A DLI is a feature that was previously only incorporated on the X and S controllers, and while the firmware update isn't necessarily as useful for players using last-gen consoles, it certainly improves the versatility of the accessory. So I would imagine the benefit there, I could envision, Matt gets frustrated in a game, he takes his Xbox Series X or S controller, slams it on the ground, and it's broken into bits. He doesn't have time to go run to the store, Eric, and get a new one. So he takes his old one, upgrades it to the firmware, and he's going to get some of the same experiences on the Series X and S controller as he will on the old one now.
That's cool.
That's how I'm envisioning it.
Yeah.
They say, now here we go, we're talking about generations and things like that. They say, we believe it's important to maintain backward compatibility with Xbox accessories people already have in their collection and to ensure we deliver the best gaming experience no matter how you choose to play. Update all your controllers, gentlemen. That's all the news items I have for this week. I thought they were short and sweet, but a lot of content there. And I can't stop thinking about that game, Eric. Kenya. Is that how you pronounce it?
Kenya.
Is it K-E-N-A? K-E-N-A?
I thought Kenya, K-E-N-I-A, I think.
Let me look.
Or K-A-N-I-A.
Yeah.
It's going to be hot, though. No, it is. Yeah. I was right. K-E-N-A, Kenya, Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. All right. It is almost 11 o'clock, so let's wrap this up. Shout-outs, plugs, questions, or complaints. Mr. Eric?
I don't want to shout out everybody in chat, man. I'm glad to be back. You know, I'm a busy dude, bro. Since I'm a lieutenant now, you know, I'm busy now. I gotta actually do work. But anytime I'm a hardcore lieutenant. Anytime I can come on the podcast, man, and hang out and talk games, I'm down. So appreciate everybody in the chat. You got Show Enough, Maniac 17, Chase was in here. Appreciate you guys stopping by. That's it.
All right. Matthew?
Yeah, I shout out our hardcore listeners here tonight on the podcast with this hardcore podcast. Chase, Kevin, Maniac, awesome. Anyone else who's in chat that didn't participate but was there. Awesome. All the listeners in that.
So the people that are in chat are our hardcore viewers, the people that just sit there passively and just consume the audio. They're just casual listeners.
They're just casual listeners. Yeah, these guys are hardcore.
I apologize to everybody listening. We've gotten this out of our system hopefully this week, and we will be back to our regular scheduled programming next week and drop the hardcore talk.
Tonight's been a hardcore podcast. Next week's just going to be a regular back to the casual podcast.
Softcore, flaccid.
Softcore podcast. Yeah. Tonight was hardcore. A lot of gaping holes.
A lot of thrusting.
Lots of thrusting.
Yes, sir. Well, hopefully people have a good week coming up. Deathloop is out this week. Aragami 2 is out this week as well. Hopefully people pick those up, and I'm interested to hear what people think about that. Curious how long Deathloop is a timed exclusive on the PlayStation 5. Of course, that's a Bethesda game made by Arcane Studios, who did Dishonored. So we'll see if that's on there for a year or shorter or what. It is going to be the hotness this week, a game everybody's talking about for sure. Hope everybody has a great week. Fall is upon us. You got to get those apple cider donuts. I already had some delicious, oh so tasty, gourmet candy corn. Oh, it was so fabulous. So fab. I've been into one of those pumpkin ones. Oh, so luscious.
That's hardcore fall enjoyment right there.
It's hardcore fall enjoyment. That it is. Until next week, this is Bad Fodder Figures, episode 176. We'll talk to you all later.
Peace.
It's going to be a sausage season here soon.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.